BMF episode 4 just dropped. Let's get right into what's going on with Meech and Terry. Alright, the episode starts off like every episode this season with a flashback of Meech, Terry, and Loco trying to escape Mexico. They're in a convenience store seeking refuge, and what happens? The police shows up. We got 3 criminals, 2 trained police officers coming into a convenience store. What do you think is going to happen? How do you think this is going to play out? Well, it's Meech, Terry, and Loco, so of course they beat the crap out of them, make short work of the officers, tie them up, and begin to shoot at their feet, make them dance. Loco seems to think it's kind of fun. He gets Meech to join in. Of course, Terry, the bleeding heart, thinks it's ridiculous and makes them hustle on out of there. It pretty much went how you think it would go. These flashback scenes, I think, are really well done. You kind of feel like this grittiness that comes from it. It kind of feels like a different type of show. It gives me a little bit of flashbacks of Breaking Bad, which is not a bad thing. I would have liked for them to just make that a season or even half a season. Just give us that whole Mexico arc, what happened in Mexico. It is kind of like a change of pace from all the DC, Atlanta, St. Louis stuff. I would have enjoyed that. And how do you guys feel? Anybody else think they could have just did like a full season or a half a season of just the Mexico stuff? Like just make it into one thing. And I think it would have been enjoyable to watch and a little bit of change of pace. After the opener, we get Meech talking to Purdy about how he wants to sign her. He's always trying to pick up stray women somewhere. I don't really know what's up with him. He has like a savior complex or something. Quick side note about Purdy. I did get to speak to Jordan Alexander, who plays Purdy on the show. Wonderful person. We had a great conversation about music, the show, and all these other things. Unfortunately, oh, I'm so hurt. The footage due to technical issues was lost. So that interview is lost. I wanted to have that for you guys. I'm sorry I don't. Hopefully we'll get to run it back one day. Pleasure to speak to, pleasure to work with. Shout out to you, Jordan Alexander, aka Purdy. But make sure you guys comment, subscribe, like, so you can keep up to date. I do have some other stuff coming, but we'll talk about that later. So Lucille got to talk with one of her friends who just seems too enthralled with her fur coat, and they kind of just discussed the finer things in life and how she deserves all these things. Are these how corrupt pastors come about? Is this like the trajectory that she's going on? I must say, I don't enjoy the character of Lucille. I don't like her at all. I don't like the way she treats Charles. I don't like the double standard she has. I don't like what she's doing at the church, honestly. Great actress. Like I said, it's not the actress. The actress is doing great. That's why I think the point is for us to not really like Lucille, and I don't. Just gonna keep putting that out there. B. Mickey is back. Yes, Terry continues to play with fire by hiring B. Mickey to do a job for him. Why would you do that? But I am proud of Terry for not trusting Markeisha because he has B. Mickey tell her, which I guess if you don't really trust someone, you should get them to follow around somebody else you don't really trust. I don't know. Do the two negatives cancel out? How does that work? Anyway, B. Mickey is following around Markeisha, and that has a lot going on. We'll get to that in a second. Because I just want to quickly get Detective Brian out the way, who continues to annoy me. It even seems like he's annoying the Red Dogs at this point because they don't really want to deal with him either. So he's going around chasing leads on his own. He really is a necessary evil at this point because Meech is kind of running out of control. So having someone chasing him down and following him around is probably good for him. LaWanda makes a good appearance in this episode. I must say, I am happy to see her on screen. Her character has really grown from the first season to now, and I do enjoy LaWanda and Terry's interaction. I don't know how Terry got caught up with Markeisha so bad, but he really fumbled LaWanda. She basically lets him know that she's down to do whatever it takes for the family, and she's pretty solid. Terry, you're an idiot. To add on to Terry's idiocracy, he sends the guy who broke the drug dealer's dress code, Worm, to watch over his sister. Why would you send this guy to watch over your sister? He can't even adhere to the dress code. This goes south pretty quickly with Nicole falling for Worm. Yes, the guy's name is Worm. Terry, what were you thinking? Nicole and Worm do adult things. She falls for him super quickly. He seems like he really does like her, but man, does he have a death wish? What would possess you to think that you're gonna court Meech and Terry's sister? I don't know what's up with this guy. He deserves whatever's coming for him at this point. Charles. Can't catch a break, Charles. Charlie Unlucky. So many things you could call this guy, man. Let's just take Charles as part of the episode and talk about this. He starts off the episode pretty good with Cece in the restaurant, and even his daughter Nicole sees sparks fly between them, but she warns Cece to not hurt her dad. Foreshadowing. He manages to get one good date night out before some dude that she used to mess with or currently messes with confronts Charles. By confront Charles, I mean he socks him. He gives him one good one, snuffs him out. And Charles ain't no punk. I'm telling y'all, this is the man. He's probably one of our favorite on the show. Charles proceeds to beat the living daylights out of this guy. I mean, he goes full UFC ground and pound on this dude. Charles has a lot of anger built up inside. This dude picked the wrong one to mess with because he just lets all it out. I think he had a punch for Meech, a punch for Terry, a punch for Lucille, a punch for Nicole. I mean, he was just letting them go. The whole band, everybody, he just let it loose on this guy. You would think CC would be happy about it because the guy popped out of nowhere acting a fool. But no, she seems to not like it. And that sucks for Charles. Man, he can't catch a break. But it almost seemed like things were looking up for Charles. He got a call that the tour would be back on in 2 months. He goes to tell Lucille, and all she can say to him is, "Good, hurry up and leave because I want to get welfare." Oh, man. Charles, why did they do him like this? Man just can't catch a break. Everybody hates Charles. That's what this should be called. All right, back to the mainline story. Meech decides to meet with Loco behind Terry's back again. Of course, Terry has a hissy fit about it, but Meech talks about meeting Pusher in St. Louis, and Loco insists that he goes with him to feel him out. Terry doesn't really like Loco, and Loco doesn't like him. He doesn't like Pusher, and Pusher doesn't like him. It kind of seems like Terry is on the outskirts of everyone that Meech deals with. That's not to say that Terry doesn't deal with his own questionable characters, mainly Markeisha. She's meeting with her child's father, Boom, and telling him one thing. She's meeting with Terry and telling him something. And while she's being followed by B. Mickey, we find out she's also meeting with the police officer. What is she really up to? Whose side is she on? I think she's just on her own side. I don't know if I dislike Markeisha or Lucille more. No, that's not true. Definitely Markeisha. She's my least favorite character on the show. By far. Way by far. I just don't like her. I'm waiting for someone to off Markeisha. Am I the only one? Okay, we have to talk about Trell. Trell, the record label owner who Purdy is signed to. His introductory scene in this episode is just completely, utterly ridiculous. Now, I do know a few record label owners. I don't know if this is common practice or something that happens often, but he is drowning a man in his sink while two naked women do drugs and a chef cooks. This is like one of the most strangest out of the world scenes I've seen in a long time. And this guy just allows himself to be drowned. There's no gun to his head or anything. Like, what is going on here? Yeah, sure, he probably has security or something around, but fight back, dude. You're gonna let somebody drown you in a kitchen sink while a chef cooks, of all things? This scene was just hilarious to me. Like, I got a kick out of it. It was just a funny scene. I don't know if it was supposed to be serious, but it was hilarious. Push's brother in St. Louis, the one with the messed up hand that used to play baseball, yeah, remember him? Him and Terry get to talking and they kind of trauma bond over their injuries and being messed up by their brothers doing crazy things in the drug game. This is a relationship that I could see building and budding because, yeah, trauma bonding, and Terry doesn't really have anyone. And this guy seems like he doesn't really like his brother at this point and is angry at the world. This might be Terry's first real friend. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know where this is going to go, but just maybe he'll find someone who actually likes him and he likes back. Loco meets Pusher and instantly seems like he doesn't like him, which I can agree with because I didn't like Pusher from the beginning either. He seems like a shady character. Meanwhile, B. Mickey is rolling in the dough because not only did he get money from Lucille in the church, but he got paid from Terry. So now he's double dipping on the family for his daughter's surgery. I don't know if he feels bad about it. I really can't read B. Mickey right now. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know if he's on the up and up. I don't know if he's got ulterior motives, but he's here and he is entertaining to see on screen, so I really want to see where that goes. Meech gets Purdy to agree to sign to his label by giving her tickets to the Source Awards, and I don't know what's up with Meech and why he thinks things are just supposed to go the way he thinks about them in his head. Like, he has no regard for anyone else or how things work in the world, but I give him props for dreaming big and not really caring. The Source Awards scene. Now, this was a dope scene for me because, I love 90s hip hop, man. It was great to see BMF's take on some of the big artists. I think we had Biggie, Little Kim, Outkast, Wu Tang, Suge Knight, I think might have even been in there. Bone Thugs and Harmony. It was great. I wish they could play out some of these scenes with these characters. I don't know about the rights or legalities of it. It would have been dope to see some of the interactions or get some of the stories behind it and have them play out on screen. But it was good to see that. I hope we see more of the music thing in this show because it was a big part of BMF in real life, especially towards the end. So I hope we get more of that and see more of the characters. And I hope we could get some, interactions with some of the artists instead of just cameos. Trell pulls up to the Source Awards to ruin the fun and tell Meech that Purdy is signed to him and things don't just work like that. Terry offers to buy her out of her contract. He denies him and then 2 sentences later basically says, "I'll send over the paperwork so you could buy her out of her contract." Really weird interaction, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe it was time constraints. I don't know, but it happened. The episode ends with Pusha doing exactly what he thought he was going to do. Try to go over Meech's head, talk to Loco in his connect, and get the drugs straight to him. Seen that coming, didn't we? I don't know how this is going to play out, but I'm guessing not good because, of course, Meech is going to be pissed off. You think he's not going to find out? These guys is weird sometimes. They're really smart and at the same time they do really dumb things, or maybe they're just bold. Overall, I think episode 4 was a pretty solid episode. Things are starting to heat up. We're starting to see the players move across the board into different spots. And I'm kind of looking forward to what happens next. The season got off to a little bit of a slow start. It wasn't as good as my favorite season, which is season 2, but it does have a chance to pick up and make it there. So let's see where this goes. How do you guys feel about this episode and where do you think everything is going? And make sure you guys are subscribing because next week during my review, I will release the info on my next big interview from the BMF cast. It's going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button, man. Stay tuned. Support me. I'm going to review all sorts of things. If you got any suggestions of shows you want me to take a look at, you could do that too. It's been just Dale, man, and I'm out of here.